Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Sixth ID intensifies preparations for 2025 elections. ASG member surrenders to government forces in Sulu. Department of Agriculture to roll out cheaper sulit and nutri rice. Thousands flock to Quiapo Church for Jesus Nazareno replica blessing.
Good day, everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo, Quezon City. Today is Friday, January 3, 2025, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates of the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rob Susan Abay, here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the 6th Infantry Campilan Division is actively working to maintain peace and order for the upcoming 2025 elections. According to 6th ID spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Rodan Norbon, the division recently convened members of the Regional Joint Peace and Security Coordinating Centers to address the election-related concerns. The 6th ID has also begun conducting risk assessments to identify the high-risk areas and plans to hold a peace summit this month with local candidates to strengthen efforts for a peaceful and secure elections.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Tactical Operations Wing Western Mindanao under Brigadier General Rocky Binag facilitated the surrender of an Abu Sayyaf group member at Tog Sulu Tawi-Tawi headquarters in Holo, Sulu. The operation, conducted with the Lavan Infantry Division and other units, resulted in the turnover of the surrenderee's carbine rifle. The ASG member, who had been hiding after years of military pressure, expressed a desire to live peacefully and reintegrate into society. This surrender highlights the government's ongoing efforts to achieve the lasting peace and security.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Solcom, let us hear from Jess about NAVFOR Sol takes custody of unmanned underwater drone found in Masbate.
The Naval Force Southern Luzon Command has taken custody of an unmanned underwater drone believed to be of Chinese origin after it was retrieved by fishermen off the coast of San Pascual, Masbate on December 30, 2024. The drone, marked with HY-119, was discovered around 6 a.m. by 3 fishermen from Barangay Inirawan, Masbate. The fishermen brought the device ashore and turned it over to barangay officials, who handed it to the Philippine National Police in San Pascual. The PNP then transferred the custody of the drone to NAVFOR Sol for expert examination. Police Brigadier General Andre Dizon stated that the similar drones are often used by China for navigation and communication purposes. He emphasized that the discovery has significant security implications for the Bicol region and underscored the need for a detailed investigation. NAVFOR Sol is leading the efforts to analyze the drone, aiming to determine its origin, purpose, and potential impact on Philippine sovereignty and regional security. While no official statement has been issued by the Philippine Navy, experts are expected to provide critical insights into the incident. In light of this development, the Regional Police Office 5 Bicol has intensified security measures across coastal areas, ensuring heightened vigilance to prevent further incidents. As the primary custodian of the underwater drone, NAVFOR Sol's finding will play a crucial role in shaping future actions to protect the Philippines' maritime interests and reinforce national security. This is Jess from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess from Solcom.
DWDD DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Marine Battalion Landing Team 7 carried out humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations in Barangay Panitian, Sofronio, Española, Palawan. The team responded to severe flooding caused by overnight rains and thunderstorms triggered by the Intertropical Convergence Zone. MBLT-7 ensured the safety of affected residents and provided transportation assistance to those in need.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Surigao del Norte Representative Robert Ace Barbers called on the Department of National Defense to establish a naval facility in Surigao del Norte under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement to safeguard the country's eastern seaboard from smugglers and foreign intrusions. He reiterated his appeal following the DND's plan to construct a naval facility within the FIVDEC Industrial Authority complex in Misamis Oriental. The lawmaker expressed concern over mixing business and military complexes. He emphasized Surigao del Norte's suitability as a NEDCA naval site, especially amid reports of Chinese intelligence activities in Philippine waters.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCOM, let us hear some information from Japan about 4th Marine Brigade starts the new year with tree planting and gift-giving activities.
The 4th Marine Makusog Brigade welcomed the new year with a meaningful initiative by spearheading a tree planting activity at Tanap Watershed Forest Reserve at Barangay Tanap, Burgos, Ilocos Norte. This event forms part of the brigade's New Year celebration and reinforces its advocacy for climate change mitigation and environmental protection. This also emphasizes the significance of starting the year with good deeds that create a lasting impact on the community and environment. The initiative is in line with the national and local efforts to combat the effects of climate change. Meanwhile, following the tree planting initiative, the 4th Marine Brigade extended its efforts to spread joy among the children and families in Barangay Dilavo, Pasukin, Ilocos Norte by distributing McDonald's toys and assorted candies to approximately 60 children. The 4th Marine Brigade continues its commitment with the local community, emphasizing the values of care and service as it carries out its mandate. This is John Sagauk reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Juan from NOLCOM.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Former Moro National Liberation Front members formally started their roles as CAFGU active auxiliaries during a courtesy visit to the 101st Infantry 3 Red Arrows Brigade at Camp Luis Bial II, Isabela City, Basilan. Brigadier General Alvin Luzon, the brigade commander, warmly welcomed them and congratulated their successful transition. He reminded them of their responsibilities as part of the armed forces of the Philippines. He also emphasized the importance of fostering unity within their units and humilities in their communities.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Department of Agriculture said it would roll out nationwide two healthier and cheaper rice varieties called Sulit and Nutri. This is part of the government's effort to reduce the cost of the staple. Agriculture Assistant Secretary Arnel Mesa said that the Sulit rice would be priced from 35 to 36 pesos per kilo, while the Nutri rice would be sold for 37 to 38 pesos per kilo. The Mesa described the Nutri rice as between well-milled and brown rice, while the Sulit rice is 100% broken white rice. The Sulit and Nutri rice would be available at Kadiwa ng Pangulo Sellers.
Forces Radio.
For other updates, let us hear the details about 4th Marine Brigade spreads joy to Ilocos Norte families for New Year 2025. Go ahead, dudes.
Yes, Rup Suzon, the 4th Marine Brigade brought smile to children and families in Barangay Dilabo, Pasikin, Ilocos Norte. They distributed McDonald's toys and various candies to around 60 children. The brigade also extended their outreach to visitors at the military park in Capi, Boyador, Burgos, Ilocos Norte. Relatedly, the 4th Marine Brigade continues its commitment with the local community. This is Dudes reporting for AP Community News, 1 AP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, dudes.
DWDD National News.
Around 100,000 devotees gathered at Quiapo Church in Manila for the blessing of Nazarene replicas yesterday, January 2. Quiapo Church Communications Coordinator Siljan Frias Cabrito said the crowd estimate was based on a combined count from the Philippine National Police and the church's command post as of 1:30 p.m. before the blessing of the image began. Cabrito said the devotees who joined the replica blessing included the members of Hijos del Nazareno, the official organization of Quiapo Church. He explained that the organization oversees their respective accredited barangays under Quiapo Church. The blessing of the replica images is conducted annually as part of the celebration of the Feast of Jesus Nazareno.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Health noted an increase in cases of non-communicable diseases during the holiday season. In a statement, the DOH said it has been monitoring NCDs such as acute stroke, acute coronary syndrome, and bronchial asthma from its sentinel sites nationwide. The DOH noted a rise in stroke cases during the New Year's celebrations. From 12 cases recorded on December 23, the number surged to 146 cases by January 2, 2025. Majority of stroke patients were aged 45 to 64 years old.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now let's hear a report on the ground about Philippine Navy launches training for new recruits. Go on for the details, Leonor.
Philippine Navy commenced training for its new recruits at Bonifacio Naval Station Grandstand, Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City. To the Navy Personnel Management Center, a joint oath-taking and turnover ceremony was held for the Naval Officer Candidate Course Class 44 and Sailor Basic Course Classes 71 and 72. Captain Santiago Paces, Jr., Assistant Chief of Naval Staff for CF4, ISR, and 6, emphasized that their oath signifies a commitment to serve the nation, defend its territory, and uphold loyalty, integrity, and professionalism. The recruits from NOCC Class 44 and SBC Class 71 will undergo training at the Naval Education Training and Doctrine Command in Zambales, whilst SBC Class 72 at the Brigade Training and Doctrine Center Naval Combat Engineer Brigade. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Lenore.
DWDD National News.
Diarrhea continues to be a leading cause of illness and hospitalization in the Philippines. A joint study by the Philippine Institute for Development Studies and the United Nations Children's Fund Philippines identified the lack of access to clean water, proper sanitation, and hygiene facilities as the root cause of this health issue. The study shows that only about half of the population has access to safely managed wash services. These deficiencies were most severe in the country's poorest regions.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Health cautioned the public against the spread of misinformation regarding an alleged international health concern. In a statement, DOH asked the public not to share questionable websites or online sources. The agency urged everyone to rely on verified information from official channels to prevent the panic and confusion. The DOH was addressing the circulating social media claims about a new epidemic allegedly overwhelming hospitals and crematories in China.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear from Spencer about troops seize anti-personnel mines and firearms in Leyte clash.
Yes, Rof, the 8th Infantry Stormtrooper Division seized 3 anti-personnel mines, firearms, and other war materials during security operations against remaining rebels in Leyte. The 93rd Infantry Battalion encountered the group in Barangay Kahandugan, Haro, in a 5-minute firefight. Brigadier General Noel Vestuer, commander of the 82nd Infantry Brigade, commended the troops for their swift response to reports from residents. He also vowed to intensify security operations to thwart rebel plans. This is Spencer reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, nearly 5 million near-poor Filipinos benefited from the Ayuda para sa Kapos ang Kita program or AKAP during its first year of implementation. DSWD Assistant Secretary Irene Dumlao said the AKAP program has demonstrated a strong impact with 26.157 billion pesos in funds utilized, achieving a 99.31% utilization rate. Dumlao noted that AKAP funds were allocated nationwide. The AKAP program provides cash assistance of 5,000 pesos to eligible beneficiaries.
DWDD National News.
ACT-CIS Representative Erwin Tulfo has suggested amending the expanded Solo Parents Welfare Act to source the allowance of indigent single parents from the government. Tulfo expressed his sentiment that the law was not being properly implemented and is not fully helping its beneficiaries. He said the LGUs, particularly those with little budget, do not know where to source the money for the allowance of single parents, now numbering 15 million. This is the reason why Tulfo suggested that the law be amended to draw the allowance from the national government funds.
Armed Forces Radio.
We have a report coming from Beth Tanyete about 101st Infantry Brigade distributes food packs to militiamen in Basilan.
The 101st Infantry Brigade distributed food pack to a baseball cap to militiamen stationed in an island village in Isabela City, Basilan. Brigadier General Arven Luzon, commander of the 101st Infantry Brigade, visited the militia patrol base in Lampinigan. He commanded the dedication of sacrifices of the Citizen Armed Forces Geographical Unit, active auxiliary, especially those assigned to remote areas. The distribution was part of the brigade's ongoing effort to support its personnel boost morale and strengthen camaraderies. This is Betanieta reporting for the AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Beth Tanyete.
DWDD National News.
Government workers may now receive their medical allowance as the Department of Budget and Management has approved the guidelines of the grant of the 7,000 peso incentive for 2025. Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman approved the Budget Circular 2024-6, which lays out the guidelines, rules, and regulations of the grant of the medical allowance. The grant is in line with Executive Order 64, Series of 2024, which also prescribed a salary increase for government personnel. Pangandaman said the move is a promise fulfilled.
DWDD National News.
Parts of northern and central Luzon will experience cloudy skies along with rain and thunderstorms due to two weather systems. Pagasa said the Amihan will affect extreme northern Luzon, while the shear line will impact the eastern section of central Luzon and the rest of northern Luzon. Cagayan, Isabela, Apayao, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao, and Aurora will experience cloudy skies with scattered rains and isolated thunderstorms due to the shear line. Meanwhile, Metro Manila and the rest of the country will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms due to localized thunderstorms.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Gina about Fort ID Command Sectoral Cooperation for Peace in Northern Mindanao.
Yes, Ralph, the 4th Infantry Diamond Division highlighted the collective efforts against insurgency during the 4th Quarter Regional Law Enforcement Coordinating Committee 10 meeting at Camp Alagar, Cagayan de Oro City. Lieutenant Colonel Manuel B. Estanilla, Assistant Chief of Staff for Civil Military Operations, emphasized the collaboration of the military, police, local government, and agencies in achieving the goals of the Regional Task Force to end local communist armed conflict. Moreover, for ID Commander Major General Jose Maria R. Cuerpo II praised sectoral unity, particularly in implementing humanitarian and development projects that bring renewed hope to communities. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD National News.
Quezon City has rolled out 6 of its 8 newly acquired electric buses for free rides. QC Mayor Joy Balmenta said the e-buses began plying the route from City Hall to Cubao and vice versa. She said that eventually more routes would be covered to accommodate more commuters. Public Affairs and Information Office Department Chief Engelbert Apostol explained that the move is part of the city's commitment to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 30% in 2030.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast. Thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Be sure to join and catch us again next week for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rolf Suzonabay for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Mga katropa, alam mo ba na ang DWDD 1134 kHz AFP Radio ay ang opisyal na radio station ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas na binubuo ng Army, Navy at Air Force na siyang maghahatid sa inyo ng mga balita mula sa ating Armed Forces at iba pang impormasyon. Mga katropa, hanapin at ilike kami sa Facebook, Twitter at YouTube. DWDD AFP Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.